Hello, everyone. Welcome to day three of Blockchain Community Days 2023. We are on our second talk of the day. I am Alexandra Marginiano. I will be your host throughout today's session on DAML essentials for your next project in financial services. But before we dive into it, a few reminders I have for you are that this session is being recorded. If that is not to your liking, you can drop off. The recording will be available sometime next week. Talk will last for 45 minutes, and Q&A will be held in the last approximately 5. Feel free to share your comments, questions, thoughts in the chat. If there are a lot of questions, I would like and be very appreciative if you could upvote the questions that you find most interesting so we know what the audience wants a response to the most. And for the ones that don't want to stay on the live session and want to watch the recording, you also have an opportunity to pose your questions after the recording is up on the We Are community page, and we can transfer those questions to our invitee today. So now that we got that out of the way, I am happy to tell you that we're joined today by Andrey Shleger, who is a solution architect. Hello, Andrey. Thank you for joining and being with us today. So he's a solution architect with over 10 years experience in the IT industry, over 5 years spent in EPAM, and over 2 years spent in the EPAM blockchain practice. Andrey is also DAML certified on associate, contract developer, and solution architect levels, and has been busy building the DAML capability in EPAM. We are delighted to have you here today, Andrey. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We're starting with a short overview of what I'm going to say. So we shortly understand what is the problem and how to resolve such problems with a new language called DAML. The problem, when you need to decide some complex, especially financial task, you need to understand who is participants and what they need. So in our artificial sample of problem, we need some parties which will be included in our business process. So usually it's a party which which needed badly for money, and this is usually some corporate and maybe some business which produce something. And also we have several thousand maybe investors which need to little risk and good income from different businesses, ideas, and so on. So investors need to increase monies, and they wanted it to do very transparently. And also, sorry, we have banks which transfer money from one participant to another participant, and they earn on this. Let's leave other possibilities, but stick to that they get the fee on transactions. And also we have participants like custodians, and these participants just like investors have some value, and they can send this value, but they also need a confirmation this its value will be sent properly and without risk, and it will be returned to them if somebody have similar contracts, such contract. And for example, of our problem, they all meet together in some room and decided to issue corporate bonds. It's simple and it's doable, and it's already done several times. But in our digital world, this this over complicated when in this process involved several financial institutions, several infrastructures, securities, some regulators, and so on, so on. So we have um, only limited ways of to implement such architecture, and also we need that our quality attributes will be transparency, auditability, integrity, and auditability. I just want to underline this because this is qualities which are suggested by blockchain solutions. And just to illustrate, you have such oversimplified business process, and the main point to illustrate that every step from one business to another business is every step from one infrastructure to another infrastructure. And this should be done transparently to other participants on this scheme. So it, it's very complex to do. And for now, we have several solutions already, a working solution like Polygon. You can use this solution to um, issue bonds like do one of German companies, I guess. They launched um, big bond issuing on Polygon networks, and it was very useful and resourceful. You can use, for example, Earth Recorder. This is pure Java solution, and you can use this like ad hoc for your infrastructure, but you need to get a signature from other participants that also they will use this three-chord solution. So you can use Hyperledger Fabric, and this is similar. You just need to get approval of others, but you have diversity of languages like Golang, Node.js, Java, and you should support very complex infrastructure in this case. And you can try DAML, and I try to explain why it can be good idea. So why DAML? DAML is a virtual ledger as virtual shared ledger as many others blockchains, but the interesting part here that it permissioned, so you can limit access between participants, and it cannot be viewed if smart contracts does not approve this. So you can or you cannot give access to your smart contracts and add different observers. Also, in your infrastructure layer, you should install only one participant node, and this is a participant node like gateway for others to communicate with, and from your perspective is a input point for your communication with others. Also, we have a synchronization protocol which called Canton, and it resolve multi blockchain projects, and I will explain how it worked later. Also, digital asset has partnership with big companies, and Eurisipam included. Also, digital asset have distributed offices around the world, and these offices can be used as consultancy centers. Uh, we have successful stories about uh, digital asset, and one of them is Hong Kong exchange. They implemented tokenization and launched to production. Also, we have unsuccessful stories for DAML, and this is Australian Security Exchange. Here is a very interesting document, and you can just read it from top to bottom, and it just showed how this business developed, how it failed, why it failed. Official version is about um, load testing and performance problem, but I think that these documents show it also managerial problems. So it's developed for a long time, but it failed. It happens. Also, here is a successful story for integration with Goldman Sachs. And this is a really interesting project because they create a distributed system for several banks, and they launched it into production very quickly. And you can find information about this by links, but I recommend to read these links. Other stories you can find in Digital Asset website, and just look into it if you're interested. Also, they have a certification path. First level is association, and after that you can choose what direction you wanted to use. They changed certification recently in April, and for now they have new rules. But when I passed certification, the most complex was DAML contract developer, and it interesting and very good way to start to understand DAML. Okay, quickly we I guess answered why this can be chosen at least for review, for comparison. Now we quickly dive into technologies and try to understand if it suitable for our goal or not. The core part of the DAML is a party. Party, if we will compare with databases, is like role for databases. So we can assign some roles, and this role can be applied, restricted, and use it inside Ledger. You can use smart contracts and place different roles in it. We can allocate these roles on Ledger and so on. Also, roles can be signatories. So the signatories is a creator of the contracts. Observers, it's role who as observers can look into the current changes of the contract. Controllers, this is a role which give you right to execute smart contract, and maintainers, it's mainly used for creating compatible keys and compound keys, sorry. Every party lives on participant, and participant is a Scala process close to Java, and every participant, then link it with different others participant with a domain, and this all place it in some blockchain layer. I don't uh, don't explain why this is different, because in next slides you can use you can see that blockchain can be replaced with different types and even databases, because digital asset have some sort of software called DAML drivers. So this is very close to the database drivers, but only use it for blockchains. So you have some technology on top of the driver, you have underlying infrastructure layer like blockchain or database, and you can use this as a one whole solution. So you can write your smart contracts and connect different parts of your blockchains, databases, and so on in one working business layer. Also have a possibility to log in into this domain and execute simple commands. It's provided by Canton console, and essentially this is Scala console. So this is the same picture, but more much more bigger with different domains. And also you can see that we can create gateways to the Ethereum with Hyperledger Bezu. We can use Hyperledger Bezu as our infrastructure layers, and we can use participants like participant 4, which connected to 2 different domains. And this gives us interesting possibility to implement different sorts of smart contracts. Here is example application. So as you can see previously, here is infrastructure layer which communicate with driver. On top of the driver, we have participant node. Also, this participant node get smart contracts in from the jar file. Jar file is just like jar files for the Java, or some packaging files for other languages. And after you upload this jar file onto participant node, you can use straight after uploading smart contracts endpoints. Also, you can integrate with identity management. On top of this, you can place integrate components called JSON API. You can use it, or you can skip it and request participant node with Ledger API. In essentially, this is just a gRPC protocol. You can find protofiles on GitHub. And on top of this, you can choose either you will use Java generated stubs for your application, or you can use TypeScript generated stubs, and on top of this, place just React components and so on. And after that, you can create this application and use it in your business. In your business. So also such application can be created from DAML tooling. Here is I'm trying to explain what is a DAML language. It's very short parts just to illustrate how it can be worked. And first, I need to say that in a previous in a previous that it's just extended from Haskell. Okay, this is previously maybe thought, but the digital assets created new language, but rules and the functional paradigm and some constructions of the language is much more Haskell, and sometimes you need to go to the Haskell forum and understood and just to understand how it worked. This is just way to find answers. On the first line, here is a type alias. You just uh, shortened your type into the one word. Then you have keyword template. This is like class in Java. You define your parameters after uh, fourth line with keyword with. You can use party type. As previously said, this is a participant or individual or maybe financial institution or something else which acquire participation in your ledger and have some rights and obligations. Also, you see there is some name. Actually, this smart contract for creating assets. Uh, in 9 line, you can see that we have validation for input parameters while we create this uh, smart contract. Also, signature is keyword for the creator for this smart contract. So only the issuer can create such a contract, not anybody else. Observer can see any changes of these smart contracts. Choice. This is like method. You execute this method with rights which given by controller. So only controller in controller owner can execute this choice. And you also have input parameters like new owner for this choice. After that, you recreate your smart contract with new owner. So because DAML ledger is ledger with only writing possibility, you cannot update your information. You can only record new information. And on the second part of this slide, I try to show what is DAML script. DAML script is something similar to unit scripting, and here is you get your parties from the ledger, just allocating these parties. It's Alice and Bob. On 8th line, you execute creation of this asset. So in this case, issuer Alice, owner also Alice, and you give name. In this case, this is TV, and you create this asset and get alias or link to this smart contract. After that, you can execute method give on this ls TV and place new owner after execution of the smart contract choice. And on 17th line, there is ownership returning to Alice again. So the idea is that you always get last state of the smart contract and change and recreate this state from the beginning, just replacing some fields. Also, you can use keys, but in this case, it just does not show it. Here is very good tooling. If project not very big, this tooling very quick. If your project very big, you need to separate it on modules because when you have very big project, it just build it very long. But manipulating execution of DAML scripts quick enough, but it depends on your scenario. So ClearTool is just a tool for updating new versions of DAML, launching specific software related to DAML. You can launch DAML Studio with it. DAML Studio is a Visual Studio with plugin, which provided by Digital Asset. Also, you can create your local DAML ledger called Sandbox. It uses H2 as a database. Also, you can use a DAML Navigator. This is UI for communicating with DAML ledger. DAML REPL, this is tool to connect to remote DAML ledger and execute some commands, or you can just use line by line execution locally. DAML code gen is a way to generate your code stubs. Just because you don't want to create it by your hand, you can just generate these stubs and use it in your application. So you will get Java files in case if you generate Java, and you will get TypeScript files if you wanted to generate Node.js. Also, in enterprise version, you can use DAML profiler, and but it's only available in enterprise. Here is two main coolest features with DAML. It's content protocol and DAML financial library. DAML financial library is a way to implement repeatable processes, repeatable actions related to financial institution processes. So you can just use your knowledge in financial domain. You can use your understanding what you need to do, and DAML financial library just give you possibility not do it every time from scratch, but create some base, some already implemented environment, and you just need to understand how you implement your smart contracts. And big part of the other actions which you need to create by your analytics or your developers is already implemented in this DAML library. So, for example, if you wanted to create some assets, here is holdings which you can use to extend and implement in your way. Also, you can use different types of instruments and default implementation of instruments. You can use settlement and distribute dividends between different parties in different proportions with different possibilities. And this is the most interesting and valuable niche for DAML, as I understand, because there is not any other financial libraries in other languages which I can remember of. But in this way, you just get what you needed, and you just get this very quick. But the problem is that understanding of DAML is not light. at all. So if you have Haskell knowledge, okay, it's just simple for you as 2 plus 2. But if you don't have any functional background or financial background, it's hard enough. Also, you have several use cases after the box, and you can just try it um, with example application which digital asset provided. So you clone this application, you build it locally and start it locally, and you can create a local bank or some derivative distributions or any other financial institutions processes. And maybe when you trying to choose and resolve problem like we stated in our problem statement, you will think about this approach, because this approach can give you as good preferences. Also, you can get headache if your understanding does not uh, strong enough, or you're not very good in working with infrastructure layers and so on. So, but you can think about it. You can just think about DAML as a way to go, just to do your business stuff quickly. And here is another problem: is to persuade others to use this technology, because every financial institution need to install participant node in infrastructure perimeter, in the infrastructure perimeter, and this is big deal. So you need to be very self-assured and assure others about this. Also, financial library and DAML in recent versions provide you with an interface layer. So they introduce interfaces, and they give you default implementation for financial interfaces, and you can just extend these interfaces and adjust it to your business needs. So you can get default implementation, understand this, and try to implement what is your need. The interesting part in the DAML is that you don't need any UIs, any business engines, any low level or high level infrastructure layers. You only what you need is a DAML works working workstation and possibility to run this DAML locally. So this is good solution, because when you trying to mix some implementation language like Java and TypeScript and so on with business language, you can get some bugging and complexness. But this is just pure functional language, can help you understand and resolve business problem. So I recommend you, if you're more inclined on some practical way to learn, go with interactive tutorials. If you need some theory, go with DAML 101. There is perfect video and very funny to look at, and you just have maybe around 2-3 hours, and they have short videos for 15-20 minutes. But if you need deep much if you need to dive much deeper, you need to some time to watch it. But it's really fun. You understand it very quickly and get information very quickly. Also, here is DAML Finance documentation, and you can use this documentation just to understand how you can apply this library for your business and how you can get more from this DAML library or against other solutions. So you decide, and there is one of the possibilities just to use it, just to create it smartly. Maybe it will help you to choose. Okay, that's all what I wanted to say. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please fire up.
Okay, so yes, I think we can start the Q&A session. Just one moment to check the chat. So somebody asked us, how long does it take to get familiar with DAML?
If you need just to understand how it works in DAML language, I have some previously. I read some books about Haskell, and I switched to the DAML about 2 weeks. So it's not complex, but again, it depends on your deepness of knowledge. So if you need very complicated processes, then you need more time. But usually it's not very hard. The IDE very responsive. You will get immediate answers from Visual Studio. You get your terminal. You have discuss.daml.com, and there is more and more information on Stack Overflow regarding DAML. So on intermediate level, you will get it very quickly. On higher level, like when you need to pass certification for DAML contract developers, you need time to just understood these constructions. And one thing is that you need practice for this language, because if you don't have any practice, quickly forgettable. This is one of another problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrey. Another question, what is enterprise canton configuration?
Enterprise canton configuration consists of Docker containers. You can deploy it on the cloud. It's sequencer, mediator, and a participant node. Sequencer, mediator, and one service, I forget. This is containerized. The only problem is with participant. It cannot be distributed. It cannot be clustered. It can only be used as hot swaps additional servers. So you just deploy it from a digital asset website, Docker repository, sorry, and you can use Helm. They provide you with Helm scripting, and you need to connect your backend, like Hybrid Zoo or database or VMware blockchain or sometimes recently I had that they have driver for Arth Recorder, but I just don't know is it developed for stable version or not. But I guess that's it.
Thank you. I think we do have time for one last one. So is it possible to create DAML contracts on top of Solidity contracts or communicate with them?
There is no possible way to make friends between DAML and Solidity. So in the case of Ethereum, we can use it like storage, and we just can replace this storage with another blockchains. But to use it as a translation to Solidity contract, for now, I get that no one do this, but this is not the case of the way how DAML worked and why DAML existed. So it's just better to stay with DAML and don't think about integration with Solidity, because it's just different smart contract system. It's just different approach for writing smart contracts, and I think that's the idea behind DAML. It's permissible, it's distributed, it's simple to implement, readable, and you can just find a good way of implementation of DAML on digital asset side. So you can just try it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrey. Our time is up. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Please stay tuned for our next talk, which is Ton Blockchain Technical Features, Advantages, and Prospects. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome.